Yin, why me, Mom? Why me? Your voice cracked, rising into a desperate scream, the last two words tearing through the walls of the house like a broken cry for help. But the woman standing in front of you, your mother, didn't so much as blink. Her eyes were sharp, burning with cold authority, and the only reply she gave was the sharp crack of her palm colliding with your cheek. The slap echoed through the living room, the sting spreading hot and fast across your skin. Your head jerked to the side, strands of your hair flying loose. Your lips trembled as you pressed your hand against your cheek. Keep that voice locked inside your mouth, Yin. She spat coldly. If I ever hear from your husband that you raised your voice about anything, I swear I'll rip your mouth apart. Your cheek throbbed in pain. Hot tears spilled freely down your face, falling onto the floor, but you refused to stay silent. Yin, there will be no husband, Mom. Your throat burning from the force of your scream. Because I am not getting married. Hit me as much as you want. Break me if you must. But I am not marrying anyone. Her eyes narrowed in a dangerous glare. Without a second's hesitation, her hand came down again, harder this time. Another sharp slap echoed, louder, crueler. The sound was so vicious it left your ears ringing. Before you could even gasp, her hand tangled tightly in your hair, yanking your head backward. Yin, Mom, you cried, your hands clawing at hers, your scalp burning from the force of her grip. Her face hovered close to yours, her breath hot and angry. Don't you dare refuse me, Yin, she spat, venom dripping from every word. Do you think you get to choose? It's time for you to pay back. We fed you, clothed you, kept a roof over your head, even when you were nothing but a useless, adopted child no one wanted. And now, when I finally need you, you refuse. Her voice cut deeper than the pain in your scalp. The word adopted felt like poison sinking into your chest. You couldn't breathe, but you forced out broken words through your sobs. Yin, then ask Ava to do it. You cried desperately. She's your daughter too, isn't she? I don't want this. Mom, I never did. Please, I'll pay the debts. I'll work. I'll struggle. I'll do anything. Please, just don't make me do this. I'm begging you, Mom. Your knees nearly gave out as you clutched at her arm, but she didn't even flinch. Yin, this is the last thing I want to do in life, and you knew that from the start. Mom, exclamation mark, double quotes. It was your final plea, your one last try before you did something reckless to escape the cage she was trying to lock you inside. You knew exactly what this meant. She was marrying you off to a man whose name you didn't even know, all because of debts. The mountain of money your father had borrowed from their family, an amount so huge it could never be repaid, not in this lifetime. Even if you worked until your last breath, you could never free your parents from it. And now she had made her choice. She was bargaining you, treating you like property, making you the deal, because the man's father didn't want money back. He wanted you, as his son's bride, in exchange for clearing the debts. Your stomach twisted so violently you thought you would be sick. You think I'd hand over my real daughter to a mafia family? Are you out of your mind? Her tone dripped with sarcasm, her mouth twisting into a sneer. Don't fool yourself, Yin. That's your role, not hers. Your heart squeezed painfully in your chest as she suddenly let go of your hair, shoving you away. You stumbled, hitting the floor with a thud, your palms stinging from the impact. I don't want to hear another word, she declared, her voice flat and merciless. What I said is final. Your tears blurred everything, but as you looked up into her eyes, something inside you broke. No, something inside you hardened. This is my life, Mom, you whispered hoarsely, forcing yourself to your feet. And I decide what happens to me, not you. Your legs shook, but you managed to grab your phone and wallet from the couch, clutching them tight like lifelines. You turned and walked toward the door. Where the hell do you think you're going? You didn't answer. You didn't even look back. You opened the door and stepped out, feeling the cold air hit your burning skin. Her hand suddenly yanked your wrist, dragging you backward with surprising strength. You're not leaving this house, she hissed, her nails biting into your skin. But this time, you didn't give in. With all your strength, you shoved her off. She stumbled, her eyes wide with shock at your defiance. I don't want to be part of your debts, Mom, you cried, your voice breaking as tears streamed down your cheeks. Yin, I refuse to be used. You never gave me a good life, never showed me love. So why should I destroy myself for you now? It's not my fault I was adopted. It's your fault you took me in, and I'll never thank you for it. Never, because you broke me, Mom. You broke me so badly that I can't even survive without medicine. You did this to me. Your shoulders shook violently as the words left you, each one cutting through the years of silence you had endured. Her face twisted, her shock turning into uncontainable rage. So now it's my fault, huh? All of it? You ungrateful bitch," she screamed, lunging forward to strike again. But this time, you were already gone. Yin. Never, ever am I going to come back to this house. You screamed through the lump in your throat. Your mother's eyes widened in shock, disbelief flickering across her face. She had thought she knew you, thought she could still bend you to her will with harsh words or a raised hand. But today you weren't the same daughter she could silence. The only thought that crashed through her mind in that moment was, what will she tell him, your father? Instead of agreeing to the marriage, instead of breaking under her blows, you had slipped right through her grip. She thought beating you would make you surrender, but all it had done was light the fire stronger inside you. Your legs carried you faster than you ever thought they could. You didn't know where your feet were taking you. You didn't care. All you knew was one thing. You wouldn't stop, not until you were free. You stumbled recklessly along the side of the road, your body moving on its own. The night was suffocating, pitch black with only scattered streetlights far apart. You didn't even know where you were anymore. Your stomach growled painfully, twisting in hunger, while your knees trembled like they could collapse any second. Your face was flushed and swollen, burning from hours of crying, your eyes stinging, your lips dry. The sobs had finally died in your throat, leaving only the hollow ache of exhaustion. Still, fear crawled under your skin. The night pressed closer with every step. Every few minutes, your body unconsciously drifted toward the middle of the road, your mind shutting down, losing grip. And then, each time, an ear-splitting honk would explode into the air, shaking your chest and forcing you back to the side, your heart slamming painfully against your ribs. Yin, I will never go back home, you whispered into the empty night, your voice trembling. You clutched your arms around yourself. Saying it out loud gave you a thin thread of courage, but inside, your body screamed for relief. Nausea twisted in your gut, the weight of everything, hunger, pain, exhaustion, boiled in your stomach like poison. Black spots dotted your vision, spreading wider with each step. Your legs faltered, your breath turned shallow, and your heart pounded loud in your ears. And then, you drifted again, this time, right into the center of the road. But now, there was no horn, no warning, silence, as if your ears had been sealed shut. You stumbled forward, disoriented, when your chest seized, and your heart dropped like a stone into your stomach. Through the haze, blinding lights came into view. A car, a sleek black car, racing straight toward you. It came fast, impossibly fast, the kind of speed only seen on highways. The roar of its engine trembled against the ground. The headlights bore into your skin. Panic gripped your chest, but your legs, they didn't move. You froze, your body betrayed you, standing still in the path of death. And then the thought hit you, maybe this will hurt less than everything else. Maybe it's easier this way. The car screeched violently, tires screaming against asphalt. The driver yanked the wheel with deadly precision, dragging the machine off course. The car swerved at the last possible second, barely missing you, but the side mirror clipped your body hard, sending you crashing down onto the road. The black car lost balance, spinning out of control before slamming into the footpath with a thunderous crash that made the whole street shake. Your body lay sprawled on the asphalt, skin scraped, lungs gasping, eyes dazed. The world tilted around you, spinning and dark. Inside the car, Jungkook's chest heaved in violent bursts, his heart thundering against his ribs like it was trying to break free. His hands clutched the steering wheel so tightly his knuckles turned white. Jungkook, shit. He cursed with fear. He tore the seatbelt from his chest and shoved the car door open. There, just ahead, a girl, lying limp on the road. His eyes widened, pupils shrinking, blood running cold. For a moment, his mind went blank. Did I kill her? The thought clawed at his chest, suffocating him. Oh my God, the words slipped out in a hoarse whisper as he sprinted forward. He dropped to his knees beside you. Jungkook. Oh my God, ma'am, hey, can you hear me? Jungkook's breath hitched when he carefully tilted your body to face him, and in that instant, his entire world collapsed. His chest tightened so violently it hurt. His stomach twisted as if someone had punched right through him. His throat closed up, choking him, suffocating him with a truth too cruel to believe. Because lying there, broken, bruised, blood running from your nose, wasn't just any stranger. It was you, the girl he would kill for, the girl he would die for. Jungkook. Why Yin? His voice cracked, shattering into pieces, and then he screamed, your name at the top of his lungs. Yin. The name ripped from him like a wound. His cry echoed through the empty road. But you didn't stir. His chest caved in. He pulled you into his lap, his hands shaking as they cupped your cheeks. Your skin was clammy under his touch, your lashes wet with tears that had long dried, your lips pale. He shook his head violently, his hair falling into his eyes, tears streaming freely down his face. Jungkook, no, 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 this can't be happening. His voice broke with every word. What have I done? What have I done? His thumb brushed against the blood smeared under your nose, and his stomach twisted so hard he almost gagged. The sight of you injured because of him, because of his car, his mistake, was something his heart couldn't bear. Jungkook, God please, he begged, clutching you closer to his chest. His arms slid carefully under your body, one beneath your knees, the other around your back. His chest clenched as he felt how light you were, how your head lolled against his shoulder, your hair brushing against his damp cheek. Stay with me, Yin, just stay, he begged under his breath, pressing his lips into your hair. The wrecked car stood crooked at the side of the road, one headlight flickering weakly, the front bumper smashed from the violent swerve. Jungkook didn't care, he only saw the car as one thing now, the only chance he had to get you to safety. After almost half an hour of restless pacing in the hospital corridor, Jungkook's mind was tearing itself apart. His shoes scuffed the floor with every turn he made, his hands pulling through his hair again and again as if the pain of his scalp would distract him from the guilt in his chest. He had cursed himself 100 times already, each thought sharper than the last. If only I had been faster, if only I had been the one hurt instead of her. His heartbeat hadn't slowed since he carried you in his arms. Finally, the door opened, the doctor stepped out, removing his gloves, and Jungkook practically sprinted toward him. Jungkook, doctor? Jungkook's voice cracked. How is she? Tell me she's okay. There's no major injury, right? His chest rose and fell in sharp breaths, his desperation pouring out with every word. The doctor gave him a measured nod. She's stable. There is nothing life-threatening. Her right arm is fractured, and she has scratches across her face and body, but she's out of danger. Jungkook's knees nearly buckled at that. Relief surged through him so strong, it burned his eyes. But before he could fully exhale, the doctor's tone shifted. He studied Jungkook closely, then asked with unsettling calm, "You are?" "Jungkook, I'm her fiancé." Jungkook answered immediately, almost too quickly. "We're getting married soon." But instead of softening, the doctor's eyes grew sharper, his silence dragged like a knife, and then his words cut through the air. "Is there any physical abuse going on?" Jungkook froze. The question punched the air from his lungs, his eyes widening as though he had been accused of murder. "Jungkook, what?" His voice cracked, disbelief flooding his face. Why would you say that, doctor? Is something more wrong with her? I don't understand." His hands started trembled violently at his sides. The doctor didn't flinch at his panic. "You are her soon-to-be husband, sir. You should know why I asked that question." He leaned closer, his gaze cold. "Her body has multiple marks, on her neck, her arms, her torso. I have seen enough victims to recognize the difference between an accident and abuse. If she wakes up and admits someone is abusing her, it will not matter who you are. If it is you, there will be consequences, severe ones." Jungkook felt his throat close, his mouth opened but no words came out. His hands shot up to cover his face, pressing hard against his trembling lips as if to stop himself from screaming. His chest constricted so violently it felt like it would collapse. The thought, just the thought, that you had been hurt, that someone had dared to touch you like that, ripped him apart from the inside. His stomach churned until he thought he would vomit, his vision blurred with tears he couldn't hold back. "Jungkook, I would never," he whispered hoarsely. "God no, not her, not my Yin." His whole body quivered with devastation. What kind of hell had you been living in that he hadn't known about? Who could have left such marks on you? The doctor gave Jungkook one last glance before leaving. "You can meet her now. She'll gain consciousness in a while." Those words were enough to shatter the wall Jungkook was holding up inside himself. He didn't wait another second. His feet moved before his mind could catch up, and the moment the doctor left, Jungkook pushed the door open and stepped inside. The room was filled with silence. Only the steady beeping of the monitor and your soft breathing filled the air. The sight of you on the hospital bed made his chest ache so deeply he could hardly breathe. Your face was pale, strands of hair sticking to your skin, and your fragile frame was swallowed up by the white sheets. Jungkook's throat tightened as his eyes traveled over you. Bruises shadowed your neck, faint but cruel, and purple marks streaked along your arms. He hadn't noticed them earlier in his panic, Now they stabbed him like knives, and then his gaze fell on your right arm, bound and supported, fractured. His guilt flooded him, rising up his throat until it burned. He swallowed hard, but it didn't go down. He sank down into the chair beside you, leaning closer, his hand shaking as it hovered above your face. Jungkook, I'm so sorry, Yin. God, what is going on with you? His hand hovered above your face, hesitant, afraid, until finally his fingers brushed your hair back. He tucked the stray strands behind your ear, desperate to comfort you even while you slept, smoothing them over and over. His thumb grazed your forehead slowly. It was rare he got to be this close to you. So rare that it felt unreal. You were beautiful even like this. You didn't even know the depth of his heart. How long he had carried this love in silence. He remembered the day he told his father he liked you, how he begged him to go to your family for the marriage. When his father returned saying you had agreed, Jungkook thought it was the happiest day of his life. That was the first time he believed his love could finally mean something. Tears pricked his eyes. He lowered his head, pressing soft kisses onto your knuckles, one after another, whispering broken apologies between each kiss. Jungkook, I'm sorry, Yin. I'm so sorry. He leaned forward, just inches from your forehead, about to press the lightest kiss there. When he froze, your fingers twitched. His heart stopped before racing wildly. His eyes widened. His breath caught. He leaned closer instantly. Jungkook, yes, Yin, that's it. Open your eyes, please. He almost ran to the door to call for a nurse but couldn't bring himself to step away from you. You began trembling in your unconsciousness, your hands moving blindly, desperately, as though searching for something to hold. Without thinking, he offered his hand, and instantly you clutched it tight, so tight it hurt. Yin, no, I know, Mom. Jungkook's brows furrowed, his stomach sinking at your broken voice. It hit him like lightning. He hadn't called your parents yet. The thought stung with guilt, but he bent over you quickly, trying to soothe you. Jungkook, yes, Yin, it's okay. Mom will be here any second. I'll call her right now. Just open your eyes for me, please. His free hand moved into your hair again, stroking gently, his thumb brushing circles against your temple. But before you could open your eyes fully, the door opened again. The doctor returned with a nurse by his side. Doctor, let her wake up naturally. We'll run some examinations first to check her consciousness properly. Jungkook froze, torn between wanting to stay and knowing he should move back. He nodded, swallowing down the cries that rose in his throat. With great reluctance, he loosened his grip on your hand, placed it gently on the bed, and forced himself to step away. There was only one thing left he could do: call your home. Even after several long moments, you still didn't wake. Your body kept squirming on the hospital bed, restless and uneasy, as if the nightmare that haunted your mind refused to let you go. Broken words slipped from your lips, muffled and trembling, but they were too unclear for anyone to make sense of. Jungkook stood there, unable to take his eyes off you, his entire body heavy with helplessness. Every second that passed felt like a stab in his chest. He couldn't just sit still and watch you suffer like this. His hand reached for yours, the left one, the one that wasn't injured, and he held it gently, rubbing his thumb over your knuckles. Jungkook, it's okay, it's just a dream. You're safe now, everything's okay. But your tears betrayed his words, spilling freely down your cheeks, soaking into the pillow. Your body jerked faintly, as if you were caught between holding on and letting go. You sobbed quietly. His heart twisted. He couldn't take it anymore. With trembling care, he slid his other palm under your head, lifting it slightly. Jungkook, wake up, Yin, it's okay. I'm right here. You're safe. Desperation choked him, so he pressed his lips against your fist softly, and then, as if the universe finally heard his plea, your lashes fluttered, and your eyes opened slowly, weakly. His heart nearly burst with relief. That's it, slowly. Don't rush. You're all right. You're safe now. But you weren't looking. You didn't care who it was. Panic and exhaustion swallowed you whole. All you needed was someone to hold you, to catch your breaking pieces before they scattered completely. And Jungkook, he didn't hesitate. He pulled you against him, raising your fragile body and wrapping you securely in his arms. The dam inside you broke. You clung to him with all you had left, your fists twisting into his shirt as sobs ripped out of you. Every cry echoed the torment in your heart, the fear of running away from home, the memory of your mother's harsh hands, her cruel words, the blinding headlights of the car. It was too much. It was all too much. Jungkook's world shattered with every sound you made. His arms tightened around you, his body curling over yours. His hand never stopped moving, stroking your hair, caressing your back, pressing warmth into your shaking shoulders. He whispered into your hair, again and again, "Jungkook, you're alright, you're safe, nothing's going to hurt you anymore. I've got you, Yin, you're gonna be alright." Time slipped away, 15 minutes, maybe more, passed in the sound of your crying. Slowly, your sobs turned into hiccups, your breaths shaky but calmer. His shirt was damp with your tears. He would have stayed like that forever if it meant easing even a fraction of your pain. Finally, awareness crept back into you. You began to feel it, the rocking of his body against yours, the strong hands cupping the back of your head, the chest you had buried your face into. And then realization struck. Your heart stumbled painfully. You pushed yourself back quickly, your wide, tearful eyes snapping up. Jungkook. It was him. The man you thought you hated. The man who had been at the center of every fight with your parents. The man whose very name had chained you to this marriage you never wanted. Yet he had been the one holding you so gently, so desperately, as if you were his entire world. Jungkook, are you feeling alright, Yin? Don't hold it in. If you need to cry more, do it. Don't keep it inside. His hand moved to wipe your tears, his touch featherlight. You stared at him, stunned, your lips parting but no sound escaping. He was too close, too real, and your chest heaved with confusion. Then, as you shifted slightly, pain shot through your arm, and a sharp hiss escaped your lips. Jungkook immediately leaned in, panic flashing in his eyes. Jungkook, careful, wait, don't move, you're injured. His hands moved instinctively, reaching to adjust your arm, to place it somewhere safe and supported. But the second his skin brushed yours, you froze, your entire body stiffened before you quickly recoiled, retreating as if his touch burned. The realization hit hard. You had been sobbing in the arms of the man you despised, the man you swore you would never accept. Jungkook's mouth opened, words hovering on his lips. But before he could speak, the doctor and a nurse stepped in again. They moved toward your bed for the checkup, leaving Jungkook frozen in place, his hands hanging helplessly in the air. The doctor bent slightly to your level. "Doctor, can you hear me, dear? Can you tell me your name?" You swallowed hard, your throat aching, your eyes lowered to your fractured arm bound tightly in bandages. Your mind screamed to stay silent, but you knew there was no escaping. "Yin, it's Yin." The doctor gave a small nod and began the routine checkups. He shone a light into your eyes, carefully watching your pupils. He pressed 2 fingers against your wrist, feeling your pulse. He checked your breathing with the stethoscope, asked you to move your arms and legs slightly, tested your grip strength in your uninjured hand. He noted the bruises on your skin. At every turn, he tried to make you speak, asked how you got hurt, if you remembered what happened, if anyone had done this to you. His voice was trying to give you space to reveal the truth without saying it outright. But your lips stayed sealed. Every question that pointed toward the cruelty you endured hit a wall of silence. You only gave answers when absolutely necessary, the bare minimum. Finally, the doctor exhaled in quiet defeat. "All right, she'll remain under observation for the next few hours." Jungkook hadn't taken his eyes off you even once. He watched every small flinch, every denial, every pause. His chest burned with frustration. He wanted to take you somewhere far away, press you into his chest, and promise that no one could hurt you again. He wanted you to trust him enough to speak, but he also knew the truth. Right now, you didn't even want his touch. Still, he tried. "Jungkook, Yin, you're really okay, right? Please, just tell the doctors everything you feel. But before he could finish, the door swung open again with a suddenness that made your heart stop, and in walked the last person you wanted to see, your mother. The sight of her in the doorway made your blood run cold, your stomach sank, bile rising in your throat. You knew what would follow. She would put on her fake smile, drip honey in her voice, and pretend to be the sweetest, most loving mother alive, only because Jungkook was standing there. "Are you her mother?" Yes, doctor, I'm her mother." "Oh my god, what happened to you, Yin? My poor girl." Her voice dripped with false concern, but before she could come closer, your instincts took over. Your left hand shot out, clinging desperately to Jungkook's jeans, clutching so tight your knuckles whitened. In that moment, despite everything, he was the only one who had shown you safety. Your mother's eyes widened, disbelief flickering across her face when you turned your head sharply away from her touch. The doctors and Jungkook exchanged uneasy glances, suspicion rising. Something was wrong, very wrong. Without a second thought, Jungkook sat beside you, close enough that your trembling body pressed into his side. He let you hold on, let you use him as a shield. Oh Yin, do you not recognize me? I'm your mother. But you didn't look at her, didn't move toward her. Instead, you buried your face against Jungkook's shoulder, hiding from her as though the sound of her voice was a knife. Jungkook's chest tightened, his confusion twisting into a sneeze. He looked at you, shaking violently now, then back at her, and then at the doctor, searching for answers. And the trembling only grew worse. Your breaths came in shallow gasps, your body rejecting her presence. Please, step outside. We don't want the patient distressed. But I'm her mother. Yin, what is wrong with you? Her voice cracked, but her eyes darted nervously toward Jungkook, then back to you, fear flickering there. She knew Jungkook might find out what she had done to you. I said step outside. Now. Two nurses quickly stepped in, guiding her firmly toward the door despite her protests. She's just confused. She doesn't mean this. I don't know why she's acting this way. Her voice trailed off as the door shut behind her. The silence that followed was thick. Jungkook's jaw clenched, his eyes darkening, as they turned toward the doctor. Jungkook, can I please talk to her, just for a moment? The doctor studied him for a beat, then gave a sharp nod. Without another word, he and the nurse stepped out, leaving the room to its silence, leaving you and Jungkook alone. Jungkook didn't ask you to let go or even look at him directly. Instead, his hand moved slowly into your hair, gentle and careful, guiding you to lean against him, as if giving you a place to hide. Jungkook, do you love your mother? It was the simplest question, yet it felt like the hardest one to answer. Your lips parted, but no sound came out. You stared at the floor, refusing to meet his eyes. Jungkook, she looked worried about you. I think you should talk to her. Yin, no. The words slipped out almost instantly. Your nails dug into his bicep, clinging to him as if the thought of her was unbearable. His brows knitted together. The pieces were slowly starting to connect. Jungkook, did you run away from your house? Your eyes widened. How did he know? Still, you shook your head, denying it, though the fear in your expression betrayed you. Jungkook, then what were you doing all alone in the dark, in the middle of the night? This? His jaw tightened, guilt dripping into his voice. This happened because you were on that road, because you got hit by my car. I'm sorry, Yin. I'm so sorry. But if you tell me what happened before that, what your mother said, I promise you, I'll help you. Don't lie to me. I know something's wrong. You bit down on your lip until it almost hurt, pulling yourself slightly back just enough to look at him. His eyes searched yours, desperate, and your next words shattered him. Yin, I don't want to marry you. He froze, his breath caught, words choking in his throat. His mind spun. If you didn't want to marry him, then why did his father say you had agreed? His voice cracked as he tried to speak. Jungkook, huh? Yin, what? Yin, I'll pay every debt my family owes your father. Just give me time. I'll manage it, please. I can't marry this early. Jungkook, I can't. Your voice broke as sobs threatened to escape, your fingers twisting the fabric of his shirt restlessly, stretching it between your trembling hands. Panic spread across his face, his voice turned sharp, almost pleading. Jungkook, what debt, Yin? What are you talking about? Tell me clearly. Your lips trembled, hesitation freezing you. Did he really not know? The disbelief cut deeper than your fear. Jungkook, it's okay. Breathe, relax. I think I'm missing something here. But inside, his blood boiled. He had promised himself that whoever hurt you, whoever pushed you into this situation, would burn alive for it. Yet the moment he realized it wasn't a stranger, it was your own mother, something in him shifted. His rage didn't disappear, but it was laced with a deep ache, a heavy sympathy for the pain you had carried since childhood. You told him in a small, broken voice, each word trembling like a scared puppy. Yin, you and I are marrying because of my parents' debt to your father. Your dad said I have to marry you as payment because I refused at first. Didn't you know? It wasn't just what you said, but how you said it, like a frightened child confessing, a secret too heavy to carry. Jungkook felt the floor shift beneath him. His eyes widened, his mouth parted, and for a moment no sound came out. His heart squeezed painfully as he stared down at you. Jungkook, what? My dad said that. He blinked rapidly as though hoping he had misheard. His head shook once, twice. Jungkook, no, Yin. My dad. The words broke in his throat. The color left his face. His voice hardened, low and dangerous. How dare he? His voice dropped into a growl, teeth grinding. No, this isn't how it should have gone. Never like this. He reached for you, both hands cupping your face gently, thumbs brushing your wet cheeks. Jungkook, listen to me, Yin. I told my father I was in love with you. I told him I wanted you. He said he would ask your parents, and all I knew, all I believed was that you agreed. His throat tightened, words faltering. I thought you wanted this too. I thought, but before he could finish, your body shook in his hold, and anger flooded your veins. You pulled back enough to look at him, tears burning in your eyes. Yin, no, you cried, the words sharp enough to cut. I didn't agree. They forced me behind your father to say yes in front of him. I don't want this, Jungkook. I don't want to marry. The scream ripped your chest open, and then came the choked sob. Your head fell forward, collapsing against his chest. Please, you begged, clutching his shirt in your trembling fingers, twisting the fabric until your knuckles turned white. Yin, tell them to stop. Tell them to stop torturing me. My mom, she's the one. She's abusing me because of this. Because of money. She always has. She wants to throw me away just to clear her debts. Jungkook held you tighter, anger and sorrow burning in his eyes, as your confession laid bare the cruel truth neither of you had wanted to own. I'll work, I'll pay, I'll clear everything myself, I'll pay every single coin. Please, I don't want to marry you like this. Please, Jungkook. Jungkook's tears did not stop. They ran down his face, wetting the edge of your hair as his palm cradled the back of your head. His other hand kept patting your back in a rhythm. His chest ached with guilt so heavy it stole his breath. The truth burned in him. You were suffering because of him, because he had told his father about you, because he had loved you quietly, selfishly, and now here you were, injured, broken, and abused, all tangled up with his name. He wanted to tear the world apart for it. Jungkook, I'm sorry, Yin. I'm so sorry. You don't have to do this. Your choice, your life, it matters more than anything. I swear I didn't know my father would ever do this to you. I didn't know. Please, believe me, I would never. Your lashes were still wet, your face pale against his chest, when you spoke, Yin. But your dad wants the money, and the marriage. His heart sank further, but then something sharp flashed through his grief. Jungkook, no, Yin, don't think about that anymore. Listen to me. This marriage, it is your choice. No one else's, do you hear me? Only yours. He repeated it, slower this time. Your shoulders is just slightly, the tension loosening enough that you exhaled deeply. Relief was there, but fragile, weighed down by the confusion of who he was to you. Someone who frightened you, yet someone who held you with such care. Jungkook, don't think about anything else. You need rest now. I'll take care of everything. I'll make sure the people who hurt you regret it. If you don't want to marry, then you won't. No one has the right to force you. He eased you down against the pillow, tugged the blanket up to your chin. His hand brushed your hair back, smoothing it behind your ear. Jungkook, rest, Yin. I'm not leaving. But when he tried to stand, your weak hand clutched at his shirt, fisting the fabric desperately. Yin, my mom, she won't stop. I don't want to go back. Jungkook, do you trust me? You said nothing, but the way your grip on him tightened told him more than words could. This is on me now. You're my responsibility. You're hurt because of me. I swear I won't leave you until I know you're safe, until I know you're healed. I won't let you go back to that pain. You frowned weakly, shaking your head, because you knew it wasn't his fault. The accident wasn't his doing, and he hadn't known about your mother. You parted your lips to argue, but he stopped you softly, almost pleading. Jungkook, don't, please, just close your eyes, Yin. You obeyed. Your eyelids fell. Your breathing slowed as sleep pulled you down. He knew what he had to do next. When the doctor returned, Jungkook told him everything about the bruises, the old marks who gave them, and your refusal to go home. The doctor listened, face grave. After a short, careful consultation, the solution was clear and firm. The hospital would file a report of domestic violence, and the proper authorities and social services would be notified, so you could be protected and your case investigated. Jungkook stayed with you through that night, trembling with guilt and with a new, burning resolve to keep his promise. Jungkook's chest heaved as he stood before his father, anger burning so deep it almost drowned out his words. I didn't. Jungkook, you're accusing me for nothing. Jungkook, why in the first place did you bring your business with Yin's dad into this? He owes you, not Yin. And because of this deal, my Yin suffered. She bled, she broke, she cried, all because of you mixing lives with debts. His father let out a long, tired sigh. He had already explained himself over and over, but his son's eyes only saw betrayal. Jungkook, listen to me. You're so blinded by love that everything looks cruel in your eyes. The truth is, her father asked me first. He came to me. He said, will you forgive my debt if I give you my daughter's hand? Do you understand? It was his offer, not mine. On that first meeting, I didn't even know Yin's thoughts. The next day, he returned saying Yin agreed. I believed it. I never. Listen to me carefully, Jungkook. I never demanded Yin's life in exchange for money. I only forgave his debt because I didn't want money to stand between us. If Yin was going to be tied to my family in the future, I wanted no shadow of debt or business hanging over that bond. That's all. If blame must be thrown, throw it at him. And know this, her parents are already paying the price for what they forced on her. Jungkook's jaw clenched, but he turned his face away, unable to look his father in the eye. The truth only twisted the knife deeper. His chest ached with a pain words couldn't hold. Jungkook, what do I do, Dad? Tell me. What do I do? She refuses to see me. She won't let me touch her, won't let me help her, not even with her broken hand. I begged until my throat went dry, but she shuts me out. She doesn't want me in her life, and all I've done is make her suffer more. I can't just sit here and wait. His father walked closer and placed a firm hand on his back. There is a right time for everything. Jungkook, love isn't a door you break down, it's a wound you heal slowly. If you love her truly, don't give up, don't force her. She's been through so much, give her time. She will come to you. The older man's voice softened. Patience is your proof of love. With that, he gave his son a reassuring nod, a low hum, and quietly left the room. Jungkook stood still, fingers digging into his hair. His mind ran wild with every memory. Your swollen eyes, the way you pulled away from his touch, the way you refused even a glass of water from his hand. The image of you struggling to carry things with your fractured wrist cut him deeper than any knife. You had already been discharged from the hospital yesterday. You were living with a friend now, and soon you'd be moving into a rented apartment just to escape everything. And all he could do was watch you suffer, watch you push him away. Jungkook, no, I can't let this happen. I have to bring her back to me. I have to bring her home, to me. He nodded to himself. Without wasting another second, Jungkook grabbed his jacket and rushed out of the house, his feet already carrying him to where you were staying. He had already understood. It was his fault too. Instead of letting his father handle everything, he should have gone to you himself. He should have spoken to you, understood you, and made you trust him. He should have given you reasons to love him before dragging you into something so big, so permanent. But he hadn't. He had been a fool, blinded by love and too quick to depend on others. And now, seeing the scars of your pain, he hated himself more than anyone else. But deep inside, one thing was clear. He wasn't ready to give up on you. He wanted to fix everything. He wanted to wipe away every tear and prove to you that he wasn't the monster you thought this marriage was forcing him to be. The doorbell echoed in the small apartment hallway. He stood stiff outside, fists pressed into his jeans, knuckles white. He already knew the address. He had followed you here the day you moved in. He had rehearsed what he'd say over and over on the way here. But now every word felt useless. All he wanted was to see you, to breathe the same air as you, to make sure you were safe, even if you hated him for it. The door cracked open and Billy appeared. Billy, oh, hey. Come in. She moved aside, and Jungkook stepped in. Jungkook, Yin, Billy, she's in my room. He nodded, already moving toward the hall, when Billy's voice stopped him cold. Billy, wait, Jungkook. He turned almost immediately. Don't pressure her, please. She's not in her right mind right now. Her sister Ava came before you. She stood here in this very room and blamed Yin for what happened to their parents. The words stabbed him like knives. His chest rose sharply, lips parting in disbelief, then pressing together in anger. His hands curled into fists at his sides. Billy read the storm in his eyes and softened her tone. Billy, you can meet her, talk to her, but if she refuses to go with you, don't force her. Jungkook, don't worry. I won't push her, but I'll make her agree in her own way. I'll handle it. Billy studied him for a long beat, then slowly nodded and stepped aside. Jungkook turned, his heart hammering, and walked toward the door at the end of the hall. He paused, lifted his hand. For a moment, his knuckles just hovered over the door. He shut his eyes, exhaled, then finally knocked. Inside, your voice answered, trembling and soft. Yin, yes, come in. You thought it was Billy. You were curled up on the couch in the balcony corner, knees pulled to your chest, your back to the door. You didn't move when the door creaked. Then you heard it. Footsteps, not Billy's light steps. No, these were heavier. Your breath caught in your throat. You didn't need to turn. You knew who it was already. Jungkook. The silence was suffocating. He didn't speak. You stayed frozen, staring at the glow of street lights far away. Your fingers picked at the couch fabric, restless. Then softly, you felt it, fingertips grazing your hair, almost weightless at first. Hesitant, like he was afraid you'd shake him off, his hand settled gently, brushing through strands. Jungkook, how are you, Yin? Your lips pressed into a thin line. You didn't flinch, didn't pull away. Maybe you were too tired to resist. Maybe a small part of you didn't want to, so you stayed quiet. Jungkook's voice softened, hesitated, and came again. Jungkook, I hope you're okay, at least a little. He moved your hair back, his fingers slowly tracing through strands. His touch was careful, desperate but respectful, like he was asking for permission. Can I stay? Do I still have a place in your life? Jungkook, have you taken your medicines, You leaned your head back against the couch, closing your eyes for a moment before looking up at him. His face was too close, his eyes searching yours with a softness that only made your chest ache. Yin, leave, Jungkook. But your chest tightened when, instead of stepping back, he leaned closer. He bent down and pressed his lips against your forehead. It wasn't a quick kiss. He lingered there, his hands gently cupping your chin and jaw, caressing them with his thumb. Jungkook, will you never accept me? He whispered against your forehead, before leaving another kiss on your closed eyelids. Your whole body froze. For a split second, you let him. For a split second, you felt the safety he was offering. But the weight of everything hit you again. You stood up so fast the couch creaked beneath you, leaving him hanging there, his hands falling empty in the air. You moved toward your bedroom, but his voice followed you like a shadow. Jungkook, Yin, listen to me, please. There was no frustration in his voice, only pleading. What is the problem, Yin? Why are you refusing me? It should be me taking care of you. Because of me, you're in this situation. Because of me, everything got this bad. Something inside you snapped. Your blood boiled. Your tears burned your eyes. You spun around to face him. Yin, stop it. Stop blaming yourself. Jungkook, stop feeling guilty when you didn't even know the whole situation. You didn't know you were about to hit me. You didn't know I was being abused. So why are you carrying this weight like it's all your fault? Jungkook, Yin, calm down please. Just calm down. Yin, no. Jungkook, I can't. Your voice cracked, the pain spilling out with every word. I can't live with you. I don't want to. I don't want to be. Your throat closed, and the tears finally broke free, streaming down your cheeks. I don't want to be dependent on you. For money, for shelter, for emotions. I'm done. I'm done dealing with this. Don't you understand? The moment I step into your house, my mom wins. Do you get it? She wins. I can't give her that satisfaction. Your hands clenched into fists at your sides as sobs shook your chest. Yin, I can't live in a marriage that started with her cruelty. If I stay with you, I'm still her puppet. I'd rather suffer on my own than live as proof that she controls me. And I can't live under one roof knowing you have feelings for me. I just can't. He shook his head again and again, stepping closer, closing the distance you tried so hard to build. Jungkook, Yin, what's going on in your mind? Everything is over. She's not here anymore. No one is forcing you. No one ever will. It's just us now, Yin. Just us. I know it's hard to let go of everything, but I'm here. I'm not leaving you. I don't want you to suffer alone anymore. Let me take some of the pain, Yin. Please. Your knees weakened, your vision blurred through tears. You didn't even realize you were falling until strong arms wrapped around you, pulling you into a chest that felt like home. He held you tightly, but so carefully, making sure your fractured arm remained untouched. His chin brushed the top of your head as he whispered, Jungkook, I love you, Yin, but I don't need you to love me back. Not now. What I want is for you to love yourself first. Please, take your time. Take as much as you need. I'll help you heal. I'll stand by you. Just don't push me away. Your chest shook as you sobbed into him, your fingers curling helplessly into the fabric of his shirt. You didn't know what else to do but hold him, clutch him tighter. You had been called the adopted girl all your life, always made to feel like an outsider. And yet here he was, willing to accept you fully, without conditions. It was something new, something that cracked your walls wide open. Jungkook, it's okay, Yin. It's okay. Come with me. I swear, I will make you the happiest person alive. Just trust me. Just let me try. Yin, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? I only bring you pain. He pulled back just enough to look at you. Jungkook, because it's you, and you're worth every scar, every battle, every fight. I don't care how long it takes. Just don't shut me out. The hug stretched longer than either of you intended. Neither moved, neither wanted to. Your eyes stayed shut as your tears soaked his shoulder, your nose brushing against his neck with every shaky sniff. He kept caressing your hair slowly, over and over. When you finally pulled back, his arms refused to release you completely. His hand stayed firm on your back, his forehead almost touching yours. Your toes barely held steady because your foot hovered above his, and your breath hitched at how close he was. Your lashes were still wet. Yin, take me, Jungkook. I want to come with you. His eyes flew open wider than you'd ever seen, shimmering with disbelief and relief all at once. For a moment, he simply stared, as though afraid he had misheard. Then slowly, so slowly, a smile curved onto his lips, the kind of smile that wasn't just joy, but pure gratitude. His hand rose to cradle your cheek. He leaned in, pressing a kiss against your forehead that lingered long enough for you to feel the warmth. Jungkook, thank you, Yin. Thank you for letting me in. He kissed your eyelids, so tenderly it made your chest ache, then the trails of tears along your cheeks. Each kiss felt like a soft, gentle, careful never to cross where you weren't ready. Not passion, but devotion. You closed your eyes again, trembling, your nose brushing against his collarbone as he held you tighter. And for the first time in years, the crushing loneliness inside you loosened, replaced by a flicker of hope. You sat perched on the cool marble counter of the bathroom, your legs dangling, toes brushing against his knees below. Your damp hair clung stubbornly to your neck and shoulders, small droplets slipping down your skin after the shower he had just helped you through. Jungkook stood in front of you, his brows drawn in quiet concentration as he carefully guided the soft fabric of his oversized night shirt onto your injured arm. His touch was painfully gentle, as though he feared even the brush of cotton might hurt you. His face was close enough that you could see the shadow of exhaustion beneath his eyes, the slight twitch of his jaw when you complained again. Yin, do we really have to go tomorrow, Jungkook? He didn't lift his eyes from your arm. His lips pressed into a thin line. Jungkook, yes, Yin, we have to. You pouted, your lips trembling slightly as you tried again, your voice carrying that soft whine you'd been using for days. Yin, I'm really okay. We don't have to go for those morning jogs. My fracture still hurts. He finally looked at you, and that frown on his face was enough to make your words crumble, his dark eyes reading every lie you tried to cover with a pout. Jungkook, Yin, don't. He slipped the sleeve gently over your shoulder, his fingertips brushing lightly against your skin, sending a shiver down your spine. It's been more than 2 months. The plaster is coming off soon. You don't need your arm for jogging. You just need your legs. You sucked in a breath, annoyed at how easily he caught your excuse. You let out a dramatic sigh, rolling your eyes, but your body didn't resist when his hands continued buttoning the shirt down your front. Yin, I said I'm fine. He stilled, his fingers pausing on the button just above your ribs. Slowly, he lifted his head and locked eyes with you, his gaze softening though his words were a little cold. Jungkook, fine, Yin, you sit in this house all day. You don't step outside, not even for fresh air. You skip meals unless I sit beside you and make you eat. You wake up at night crying, thinking I can't hear it. And sometimes, you stare into nothing for hours. Your throat closed up. He'd seen it all. The things you thought you'd hidden. The pieces of yourself you thought you kept private. Jungkook, that's not fine. That's you. Hurting yourself. He stayed calm for your sake. He finished the last button, his fingers brushing your collarbone before dropping to your sides. Yin, alright, whatever. The words slipped out, small and defeated, a weak attempt to brush him off, but inside, your chest ached. No one had ever spoken to you like this, like your pain mattered, like your silence wasn't invisible. His lips twitched into the faintest smile. Jungkook, good girl. Your breath hitched at the way he said it, not as praise, but as reassurance, like he was trying to remind you that you were safe with him. He opened his arms, a quiet invitation. When you hesitated, his arms simply closed around you instead, pulling you against his chest. The warmth of his body engulfed you, your damp hair sticking to his shirt, his chin lowered onto the top of your head. His hand rubbed gentle circles against your back, coaxing you to melt into him. Jungkook, come now, let's go back to the room. The past 2 months had been a battlefield between you and him. At first, you rejected everything, his help, his care, even his presence. You snapped at him, pushed him away, refused to let him close, but slowly, his patience chipped away at your walls. He never forced, never demanded, only stayed. Now, you found yourself leaning on him in ways that terrified you. He had seen you at your weakest, when you couldn't feed yourself, when you needed help dressing, when the simple act of bathing had been too much to bear. And though shame had burned through you each time, he never once looked at you with pity, only devotion. He guided you carefully onto the bed, making sure your injured arm didn't brush against anything. The blanket was drawn up over you. Tucked just under your chin, he lingered for a second, his hand smoothing over the fabric at your shoulder before reaching to turn off the lamp. He stepped back, leaving a little distance between you, as though a line had been drawn on the mattress. Yin, why are you so far away? He turned, his expression caught between guilt and worry. Jungkook, huh? I just don't want to hurt your arm. You remember last time, right? It got crushed when I hugged you too close. The reminder pulled a frown from your lips. You hated that he was always holding back because of you. Yin, but I want a hug. His expression softened, his shoulders dropping in surrender. Jungkook, all right, let's find a way then. He leaned in, wrapping his arm gently around you. Your arm rested lightly on his chest, and though the gesture was tender, it felt incomplete, distant. His warmth was there, but you wanted more, needed more. Yin, this isn't working. You rolled onto your side, lying straight on the bed, your eyes following his every move. He watched you curiously as you tilted your head, observing him like you were studying a puzzle. Then, with a determined nod to yourself, you started shifting into different positions, trying to fit into him without hurting your arm. Each attempt was met with your frustrated sigh as your fractured arm got in the way. Jungkook's lips twitched as he bit back a laugh. Your frustration was adorable, stubborn, but beneath it, he saw your desperation. You looked so silly, yet so heartbreakingly serious. Jungkook, Yin, sweetheart, it's okay. It's only for a few more days. Yin, no, your voice was sharp and stubborn. And before he could protest again, you boldly slid under his arm and tucked yourself against him. His eyes widened when you rested your head on his bicep and pulled his arm across your waist, pressing his chest firmly against your back. You had put him in the big spoon position, something far more intimate than before. Yin, hug me tight. His throat bobbed, but he obeyed without arguing. His arm locked around your waist, his chest rising and falling against your back. The closeness was intoxicating. He knew this was dangerous. Every inch of you was pressed against him, your back flushed to his chest, your holding perfectly against his. He squeezed his eyes shut, praying his body wouldn't betray him. Slowly, almost desperately, he shifted his hips, trying to put distance between you. But the moment he moved, you instinctively followed him, pressing against him even more. Yin, stop moving. His lips parted in panic. Jungkook, I'm not. But his voice cracked, and his teeth sank into his bottom lip. Heat was crawling up his neck, spreading across his face, and no matter how hard he fought it, his body was betraying him. In less than a minute, you would feel him getting, and shame already burned in his chest. Jungkook, Yin, listen, I need to quickly go to the washroom. You shook your head immediately, clutching his arm tighter around your waist. You had finally found a position that made you feel safe, and you weren't letting go. Yin, no, please, go when I'm asleep. The words sank into him like a hook. You weren't just asking for closeness, you were begging him not to leave you. His heart twisted painfully. He buried his face into the curve of your neck, hoping you wouldn't notice how restless he was becoming. But the more he tried to control himself, the worse it got. His lips parted against your skin, hot and shaky, and without thinking, without meaning to, he brushed the softest kiss along your neckline. Your eyes flew open, your whole body freezing. His fingers curled tighter at your waist. His lips moved again, slower this time, lingering just beneath your ear. Yin, Jungkook. His name slipped from your lips confusingly. His chest rose and fell sharply against your back. Jungkook, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I can't hold it anymore. You blinked once then twice. Yin, huh? But before you could even turn, Jungkook's arms circled you tighter, locking you against him. Jungkook, please Yin, I hope this is okay with you. And if it's not, just push me away. His voice cracked on the last words, trembling with desperation, like he was begging for permission to feel what he was already feeling. And then, his lips found your skin, a hesitant brush at first, the softest touch on your neckline, and then another, warmer, wetter, sinking into you with every second. Your breath stuttered, your mouth fell open, your lashes shut tight. Yin, Jungkook. It left you as half a gasp, half a plea, your chest rising so fast you could barely breathe. Your fingers fisted the bedsheet beneath you, but your body, traitor that it was, tilted your head, leaning into his kisses, welcoming the fire he left behind. What started as soft cuddling had snapped, turned wild, intense, too sudden, too much. But instead of fear, there was only heat curling in your stomach, only the ache to keep him close, closer, closer. Jungkook, Yin, I want to stop, I should stop, but I can't. His whisper tickled directly into your ear, making your whole body flinch, your skin erupting in goosebumps. I know you don't love me yet, and I don't ever want to trap you in a place where you'll feel guilty for pushing me away. If you don't want this, please, say it, push me away. Tell me to stop. He was holding himself back, fighting against his own body, his own heart, but you weren't thinking of pushing him away, not when every nerve in you begged for more, not when his warmth, his weight, his voice, all of him, had already become the safest place you'd ever known. Yin, Jungkook, you slowly turned in his arms, finally facing him, your breath caught at the sight of him, his lips parted, his eyes half lidded and dark, the kind of look that made your stomach twist with heat. For a long moment, neither of you spoke. Then you leaned in, your lips pressed a soft kiss against his chin, his eyes shut instantly, his body trembling. You moved lower, kissing along his neck, and he tilted his head, exposing more of himself to you, his throat quivering under your mouth. The smallest whimper left him, and you felt the way his body flinched under something so gentle, but his hand caught your wrist suddenly. Jungkook, say it, Yin, please. Do you want me? Do you love me? The fear in his eyes made your chest ache. He wasn't afraid of you rejecting him. He was afraid of hurting you, of holding you without your heart being in it. You bit your lip, letting the silence burn longer, and then, slowly, you wrapped your leg around his waist, pulling him down into you. His body collapsed against yours, and a soft, broken moan escaped him when the full length of his abdomen pressed against your core. His forehead fell against yours, his lashes brushing your cheeks. Yin, I love you. Jungkook, I do love you. How could I not? I don't have any reasons not to love you, only reasons to love you. Yin, every time you stayed, every time you chose me when everyone else left, every time you saw me when no one else did. How could my heart not fall? You are my only safe place. Jungkook, my only one. His eyes filled instantly, shimmering as tears escaped. He didn't even have time to answer before your lips pressed against his. That one kiss broke him. His body melted into yours, his tears falling against your cheeks as if sealing his love into your skin. The kiss deepened, his lips moving desperately against yours, tilting his head to taste you better. His teeth caught your bottom lip before he pulled away just long enough to strip his t-shirt off his body. You opened your arms wide, welcoming him into you, into the place you had unknowingly saved just for him. But before lowering himself fully, he paused, carefully slipping a pillow under your injured arm. His tenderness made your chest ache even more than the kiss. Jungkook, we have to be careful. You nodded, your lips parting, silently begging him back to you. And he came. His mouth claimed yours again, slower now, more tender, his love spilling through every touch. And no matter how close he pressed, no matter how desperate his kisses became, he never let your arms strain, never let you feel pain. His love protected you, even in the most fragile, vulnerable moment. Jungkook, I love you, Yin. I love you so much it hurts. You closed your eyes, your heart swelling until it almost burst. Your fingers curled into his hair. Yin, I love you more. Jungkook, more than anything, more than everything. And with those words, the broken pieces of you finally fit together again. In his arms, you weren't just loved, you were finally home, finally yourself. You were standing outside the mansion, stretching your arms and legs, feeling the crisp morning air brush against your skin. The sun was just rising, soft golden light spilling across the garden. It was the next day, and you both were going for an early morning jog. Jungkook had gone inside for some nuts, planning to snack after the jog, and you were loosening your muscles, swinging your legs, and stretching your arms, which wasn't injured, high above your head. Jungkook, let's go. You turned to nod but froze instantly. Your eyes widened, and your heart skipped a beat. He had removed his jacket, leaving him in a loose tank shirt. The fabric clung slightly to his toned torso, and the side cuts revealed glimpses of his chest. A faint sheen of sweat already highlighted the curves of his abdomen. He looked impossibly hot, almost unreal, and yet, you found yourself glaring instead of staring. Jungkook, let's go baby. He was grinning, playful and energetic, clearly thrilled to spend time with you after last night. His gaze flicked nervously to your reaction, noticing the way you were staring. Yin, who are you wearing that for? You raised an eyebrow, pointing at his tank top, letting the question hang in the air. Jungkook, it's breathable. I often wear it. Is something wrong? You stepped closer, smirking mischievously, letting your words strike like teasing arrows. Yin, you want to show off your body while we jog, don't you? So other girls can look. You wore this on purpose, didn't you? His face went pale, eyes wide, a deer caught in headlights. Jungkook, no Yin, why would I do that? Yin, ask yourself. You stifled a laugh, watching him panic, every subtle twitch on his face, every nervous glance. It was mesmerizingly funny. Jungkook, then I'll quickly change. You were enjoying teasing him, thinking he would just brush it off, but the widening of his eyes told you he was taking it seriously. The panic, the shock, it was too good to resist. You couldn't hold it in any longer. Your laugh burst out, loud and free, echoing across the driveway. Yin, just look at your face. He froze, lips parted, hands resting on his waist. For a moment, he looked completely caught off guard, his usual confident aura replaced by genuine panic. His mouth parted in defeat as realization struck. You were actually playing with him. He let out a small sigh. Jungkook, Yin, you scared me. I swear I didn't wear it for that purpose. I'm a one-man woman. You broke down laughing again, clutching your stomach as it became harder to breathe. Tears pricked the corner of your eyes from laughing too much. Sorry. I mean, one-woman man. But you couldn't stop. Each time you tried to speak, your laugh only grew louder. It became harder to breathe. His ears flushed crimson, his jaw tightening as he rubbed the back of his neck. Jungkook, yeah, it just slipped out. Don't laugh at me like that. Hey. The embarrassment in his tone only made it worse. You couldn't remember the last time you'd laughed this much. Jungkook's eyes softened despite himself. He watched you, his heart clenching at the sight. It was rare to see you like this, carefree, so full of life. He wanted to lock the moment in his memory forever. But another feeling tugged at him stronger, the need to close the space, to turn your laugh into silence only he could create. Without a word, he stepped forward. The sound of his shoes against the floor made your laughter falter. But before you could react, his hand caught your waist, and his lips crashed against yours. The kiss was sudden, hard, and consuming. Your eyes widened in shock, your body stiff for half a heartbeat. Then everything inside you melted. Your stomach flipped, your knees turned weak, and a shiver ran through your spine so sharp you almost lost balance. He tilted his head, deepening the kiss, his mouth moving over yours with a hunger. His grip tightened at your waist, pulling you closer until there was no space left, no thought, no room for air, only him. A part of your mind screamed about the bodyguard stationed below the stairs, how easily someone could look up and see. But none of it mattered. The kiss was too good, too deep, too addicting to let go. When Jungkook finally pulled away, both of you were breathless. A thin strand still connected your lips, proof of the intensity that had just passed between you. His dark eyes burned into yours, and his smirk carried both mischief and promise. Jungkook, done laughing now, or should I make you lose your breath again? You swallowed hard, rolling your eyes weakly, trying to hide the heat rushing to your cheeks. Yin, let's just go. Your voice came out smaller than you intended, shy and flustered. Jungkook's smirk softened into a smile. You looked almost too cute to bear, lips swollen from his kiss, cheeks flushed pink, eyes darting nervously away. He loved you like this. He wanted more. Before you could move, he bent down and swept you up into his arms with ease. A squeal left your lips, followed by a breathless giggle as you instinctively wrapped your arms around his neck. Yin, Jungkook, put me down. Someone will see. He looked down at you, his arms holding you securely against his chest as if you belonged nowhere else. Jungkook, let them see. I don't care. You're mine, Yin, only mine, and I'll never hide that. I'll hold you however I want. Your cheeks burned hotter, But your heart swelled at the thought, wrapped safely in his arms. You realized that with him, even the world watching couldn't touch the bubble of happiness he'd created around you.